Hi, I'm Midge Shoemaker, and today is day 85 of my doing 100 days of YouTube videos and focusing on doing at least two things every day I don't want to do, but I know would be good for me. So, yay for day 85, and yay for only 15 days to go. I may finish these videos yet. Uh, so today I made a list of like 14 things to do today, and I'm pretty sure I'm not going to do the last two, but I'm pretty proud of myself for getting through 12 of them. So, but I have to admit that I'm really bad. I kind of cheated on a couple of them, and I spent like 2 hours doing other things to avoid having to actually do what I put on my to-do list because I really just struggle to do things I don't like to do. And I had this thought when I finished doing my dishes tonight, which I didn't want to do, but I did, is that I keep trying to find some kind of internal motivation to get myself to do things. And I know that spiritually, emotionally, it's good to have some kind of internal motivation, but I don't know if it's a disconnect in my brain. I don't know if it's just something I missed out in childhood or if it's just literally an ADHD thing. But sometimes I feel like I literally have to have some kind of external motivation, like doing it for other people instead of doing it for myself, or some kind of consequences, whether I do things or not do things. And so I know that God has been making it quite clear in my brain, my mind, like if I do certain things, I feel better. And if I don't do certain things, I feel worse. Like if I read my scriptures and meditationals, I feel lighter, I feel happier, I feel better about myself when I go through my day. If I take the time to pray and see myself the way that God sees me, or to ask God what I need to know for the day, I I just feel happier and I don't take things quite so personally during the day. And when I don't, then I struggle all day long, and then I take things personally, and my depression and my negative thoughts and negative thinking take over. So if I want to have positive thoughts and positive thinking, I have to read my scriptures and meditationals. And if I journal at the end of the day, I get rid of all of the emotions, and my anxiety is a lot lower. And because I haven't been journaling for a while, been really bad at that, I've been having a lot of anxiety. And so my anxiety's gotten really high. My blood pressure is getting a little higher again, which is not good. And I've actually woke up this morning with like panic attacks twice. And not big, huge, major ones, but like, waking up with my heart racing is not my most favorite thing to do. And even tonight, like I heard a noise in the other room, and I'm like, and my heart starts racing, and I'm like, freaking out. I'm like, it's not full blown panic attack. It's more like a little anxiety attack. But I don't like that because I know it can turn into a full blown panic attack. And I was like, and this is what I get for not writing in my journal. So this is what I get for not processing my emotions. So I have to mentally remind myself of these things, because the other problem is that when I consistently do things like making my videos and reading my scriptures and meditationals and journaling, I feel good, I feel great, and then I feel like I get kind of like complacent, and I forget that there's a reason why I do all of those things on a daily basis. And it's so easy to just kind of lull myself into this sense of security that I'm fine, I'm good, and I can skip a day. And it's like, no, I can't, because this is like my medication. And it's not like an actual pill that I take, but it's the medication that works to control my emotions and to help me to function and to be happy and to find joy in my life and to feel like I have a purpose and to feel good about myself and to not take everything in the world personally and to be able to process everything so that I'm not holding on to it. It's not weighing me down. It's not carrying over to all the other days. And so I'm just like, I have to do these things, but I struggle to do these things because, again, when I don't feel emotionally stable, when I'm upset, I'm frustrated, I avoid all of those things. I just naturally avoid them. So it's kind of like I have to do the opposite of how I'm feeling, which is why I feel like I need some kind of external reward system or external thing to do. I've also been thinking about the whole trying to think the right word for it, but I think it's like self-discipline. And to me, I always associate discipline with punishment. And so I have a hard time like with disciplining myself to do things, because I've heard the saying self-discipline is self-love, but then I always associate discipline as being some form of punishment. And so it's kind of like, a reward punishment system. And I need to learn how to reward myself for good behavior and not necessarily punish myself or berate myself for what I consider to be bad behavior, because it's not necessarily bad behavior. It's just I haven't learned differently, or my brain just has default settings that aren't the best. I also have ADHD, so I struggle to do things, and that's okay. I have anxiety, I have depression, so I still combination of things. I also have PTSD, so I have like all kinds of fun little alphabets going on in my brain. Um, it makes sometimes it difficult for me to do just basic everyday things. So that's part of why I do these videos, because it helps me to connect to God. It helps me connect to other people. It helps me think that maybe something I'm saying or doing is helpful to someone else watching these videos, because maybe I'm not the only person with these struggles. And also, it helps give me that motivation to do the things I don't want to do, but that I know would be good for me. So today, obviously, making videos. Um, I also wrote on there to make a TikTok video, which I made one. I don't understand TikTok. I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing when it comes to TikTok. I don't know how to edit it. I don't care to watch the videos, to edit the videos, to make little comments, notes, and little stickers, pop ups, whatever. I don't find that stuff fun and entertaining. Well, that's not true. I think if I took the time to do it, it might be fun to play around with it and do different things. I just don't like listening to myself or watching myself, because I feel like I'm just like cheesy and dumb and like nobody's going to want to do this. So I have this. I'm trying to stop doing that. And I had to catch myself doing that today at work. I had to stop myself because the negative thoughts come so easily, and putting myself down and devaluing myself just comes so easily. And I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to put myself down. I don't want to devalue myself. I want to recognize that I have value, that I have worth, that I can do things, and that just because things didn't work out the way that I wanted them to, or I didn't get the response that I thought I would, doesn't mean that I screwed up. It doesn't mean that I'm a horrible person, and it doesn't mean that I can't do things. So, and it doesn't mean that I have to freak out because I'm doing things differently than other people. So again, it's just one of those things I kind of have to overcome and recognize that yes, my voice sounds different when I'm hearing it in a video form. Just like when I was growing up on cassette tapes and we would record ourselves, I sounded like a chipmunk. Chipmunk? Yes, I sounded like a chipmunk. I can talk on the cassette tapes, and I kind of feel like I sound that way on the YouTube videos or the videos when I'm playing them back. And so, and editing can be kind of tedious. Sometimes it can be fun, but I haven't learned how to do it. And I feel like I don't have a whole lot of time and energy to put into learning how to do it. But I do like to be creative. I have to admit, I like being creative. I like adding colors to things. I like doing things like that. So it's not that I don't know how to do it. I remember when PowerPoint came out, and I learned how to use PowerPoint, and I loved doing it and making all of those things. So I imagine editing is kind of like that. I also took a class back when I was in college over 20 some odd years ago. And it was for, I don't remember the name of the class, but I remember we made videos. We had to make videos and we actually had to edit them, but they were VHS tapes that we had to edit. And we had like special editing thing that we had to do. And I actually had to make a video of myself interviewing myself as one of like the final project for the class. So I had to find something to interview myself on. I had to sit two different outfits, two different hairstyles, and record myself doing both versions. So I had to have it written out and doing all of that stuff. And then I had to edit it back and forth so that it looked really good on a VHS tape. So I have done that. But like I said, that was over 20 years ago. And that was like the high tech technology they had in the classroom, that we had to like schedule a time to use the editing room to edit our tapes to make it look like that. It wasn't something I had equipment at home to do or something on my phone that I could do. So I know I'm capable of editing. I just haven't taken the time to learn how to do it. And I've kind of got the feeling that's the next thing I'm going to have to do. And since I don't want to do it, I think I kind of just put it off finishing these videos, because if I don't finish these videos, then I don't have to start editing videos. But that's probably like the next step. And I only made the TikTok video because I'm trying to like market my book that just got published. But then I'm like looking on there and it's like it's the same as anything else. You're trying to build a following, and you can't just build a following by putting out an ad, because then you're just putting out an ad. So you have to like tell people about yourself, you have to do things. So, and since I don't know how to get the camera to flip, and then you basically have to do two different recordings, and then you have to edit the two together and all of that stuff, because the camera doesn't flip. Like when you're doing Marco Polo videos, you can flip it from front to back and still be recording. But when you're making YouTube videos or you're making TikTok videos, it doesn't let you flip the camera while you're talking, which is annoying. So you have to actually stop and cut and edit and all of that stuff. So I basically made a TikTok video of just me staring at my camera focused on my laptop and just showing all the different documents that I have from the different books that I'm working on and writing, and then kind of the picture for the book cover for Lanoya and the Teachers of Powers, and the front page, the first page for the chapter or whatever. But I still don't have the actual book. I did message my publisher today about getting the actual books, and she's going to get me the pricing and tell me what I have to do to get the books ordered so that I can get an actual book to show everybody. I'm excited about that part of it. So there's that. And then, oh, what else did I do? Like I said, I made a list of 12 things to do. And the biggest thing I did today, I don't want to share, but I will. So I think I got a date is what I did today. It's a crazy, cheesy story. I heard someone speak at state conference a few weeks ago at the church meeting that I went to, and I don't know. I think he's single. He looked like he was single. When I looked up his name through the tools for like church tools to find out who's in my stake that I could look him up. He didn't have a profile picture or anything, which I'm like, okay, I hope that's the right person that I'm texting and telling him I like the way that they talked in church. But then it keeps popping into my head, and I thought, okay, so I want to date, I want to have friends, I want to get to know men, and on a positive note, and hopefully, decent, positive men. So I sent him a message today and asked if he'd like to go to the temple with me. And I figured, if he's married or if he's in a relationship, he'll just say no, or that's not appropriate or whatever. And I'll be like, that's fine. Done, whatever. And then of course, after I sent the text message on my lunch break today, I was like, okay, I literally went back to my desk after lunch and I was like, calling myself stupid and silly and ridiculous. And I had to remind myself that I'm not stupid, I'm not silly, I'm not ridiculous. It's okay to have a crush. It's okay to like someone. It's okay to think somebody looks cute or nice, or that they might be an interesting person just to get to know and just to meet. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's a perfectly normal thing to feel. It's a perfectly normal thing to do. And they have the right to say yes or no. They're interested back. They want to get to know me or not get to know me. They're like, this is a cool idea or this is a crappy idea. Like, it can go any way that it wants to. I don't even have any idea where it's going to go, or if it's even going to go anywhere at all. So, and it's okay for me to just like lower my expectation to the point where I'm like, he's just going to say no and I don't have to deal with it. And then I'm like, but I had to remind myself that I don't have to be embarrassed by this. I don't have to be upset by this, and I don't have to freak out about it, because I was doing all of those things. I was upset, I was embarrassed, I was freaking out. Like, this is just the dumbest thing in the world that I could possibly do. And so I'm so very grateful to God for reminding me that I have value, that this isn't a dumb thing. It isn't a dumb idea. It's just putting myself out there and saying, hey, I'm interested. What do you think? And there you go. So after work, I got a text message saying that he's not available because his work hours are different than mine. So because of work hours, he's not available to do something tomorrow, like I invited him to do. And I was like, okay. And he's like, the only time he could do it is on Saturday. I was like, well, Saturday, I'm in the temple on Saturdays because I'm an ordinance worker. So I'm there for 4 hours every Saturday anyway. So I was just kind of like, that doesn't exactly work for me. So I sent him a message back and I said I would be willing to do something before or after, but these are the hours that I am not available. And so, not that I want to give up my Saturday, but I figured I started this, I should go ahead and finish it. And then I got a text message tonight before I made my video saying that Saturday after I'm done with my shift at the temple, we should get together and do something. And I was like, cool. I still have no idea what we're going to do. I have no idea how this is going to work. And I saw him like 2 weeks ago, and I'm not entirely sure I remember what he looks like. And like I said, he doesn't have a picture on his church profile for our ward, for our stake. So I'm just like, I hope I can remember what he looks like. And I realized that he has no idea who I am because I've just sent him a text message and we've never actually met and had a conversation in person. So this is kind of like I set myself up on a blind date, and I really did not want to set myself up on a blind date. I really did not want to ask a complete stranger out on a date without any kind of like profile. It's not through some dating website. It's not somebody else that knows me, that knows him, that's putting us together. I think it's just God. I want to say interfering, but maybe he's helping, pushing me in the right direction. Because obviously this guy doesn't know me, so he's not going to reach out to me. So if it's going to go anywhere, I have to make the first move, which I did today, and it scares me to no end. It really does. And then again, I think part of it's my brain. I was mentioning to a coworker the other day that it's like the problem with my brain is that I picture the end results, and then I see where I'm at, and then there's like this disconnect between where I'm at and where I want to be. And sometimes I just get so overwhelmed with the process and all the steps involved to get to there, or I can't figure out what all the steps are to get to where I want to be. And then I get discouraged and frustrated, and I get disappointed, and I have a tendency to give up. But then I keep picturing where I want to be and where I'm at. And then I'm like, okay, I have to try again because I really want to get there. And then I'll start again. But again, it's like this big, huge, long process. And I get so hyper focused on where I want to be and that I'm not there, that the frustration and the overwhelm and the disappointment all kind of roll together and they get all enmeshed. And so my crazy brain is like, okay, well, if we're gonna meet, then we're gonna go on a date, and then we're gonna like it's gonna turn into this whole relationship thing. I'm like, I have no idea what it's gonna turn into. I have no idea what that would even be like or what that would even look like because I don't even know this person. So I have nothing to base like a future on, which is probably a good thing. That's probably how it's supposed to be. But in my brain, it's a little bit frustrating and it's kind of freaking me out because I have no idea where it's going. And I like to kind of know where things are going. So I'm very full of anxiety about the whole thing. So, which is also probably why I did my dishes tonight because it gives me something to do to focus my energy on. Also, why I'm making videos because it's something else to focus my energy on, and why I should probably write in my journal tonight because it would also help to get rid of all of that extra anxiety and help me not feel like I'm freaking out so much. Um, and maybe not wake up with, my heart racing in the morning because that would be fantastic. So, anyway, that is my crazy for today. Those are at least two things I did that I didn't want to do today: doing dishes, doing TikTok videos, and um, introducing myself to some guy and asking him out. So basically, have myself a blind date Saturday. And like I said, no solidified plans because what I wanted to do, we're not going to do. And I have no idea what we're going to do instead because that hasn't been decided. So I'm just like, we're just going to play it by ear at this point, I guess. So that's going to be interesting to say the least. So I will have to keep you posted about me and my crazy. And maybe it's not crazy. I need to stop saying that things are crazy or things that are out of the ordinary because maybe this is what normal people do. Maybe this is a good thing. And maybe this is just a God thing. He's trying to just push me in a positive direction. And even if nothing happens with this person, at least I have the experience of saying, hey, I put myself out there and at least I didn't get completely shut down and it's not the end of the world. So it's just a reminder that I can do things, and it's teaching me that I have value and that it's okay to have desires and interests, and it doesn't make me a bad person. It's nothing to be embarrassed about, and it's nothing to be afraid of. It just means that I have to trust. I have to trust God. I have to trust myself, and I have to open myself up to trust someone else, to allow myself to get to know someone else and allow someone else to get to know me. So I'm hoping that this is a good thing. It feels like it might be a good thing right now. And if nothing else, it's a learning thing for me to put myself out there and to change my perspective and my responses and my reactions. And it's not an immediate thing because, like I said, immediately my response was to be embarrassed or to berate myself. And I had to consciously make an effort to tell myself that those thoughts and those feelings were true and that I don't have to feel that way and I don't have to respond that way. So I am repeating it in a video multiple times because I just hope anybody else out there, I'm trying to normalize it for anybody else out there that's struggling with those those same things, and that it's okay. And like I said, I don't know this person and I don't know his situation, so I didn't even know if he would be interested or even receptive to anything I had to say to him. So I'm grateful that he was receptive. And like I said, I still have no idea what's going to happen. I don't really know him. I just heard him talk at church and was just impressed with what he had to say, and just want to see what happens from there. So maybe if nothing else, I'll get a friend out of all of this. That'll be great. Or if nothing else, I'll learn that it's okay to put myself out there, even if I don't necessarily get the response that I think that I'm going to get. And that if God keeps putting the thought into my head, that maybe it's okay to follow through on it. So that's kind of where I'm at for today. And that's all I have for this video. So if you like these videos, you can hit like, subscribe, share with someone else if you think they'll like it too. And I hope you have a great day full of gratitude, and maybe find one or two things to do today that you don't want to do, but you know would be good for you.